Usually I start this with a joke, but it doesn't really seem appropriate right now because today we're talking about a special service where we honor those people who have left the world before us through death. Hello, hero, it is I, your friendly neighborhood rabbi. I'm still friendly, just kind of serious right now because this video is about Yizkor. Yizkor is a memorial service that is added to other services 4 times a year, and it's a service with prayers that we say in honor of those people in our families, in our extended friend families who have died. Before we get into it, if you're just joining us, I want to make sure you know that this video is part of a 31-day Fall Jewish Holiday Learning Challenge. If after this video you'd like to see the other 30 videos associated with it, plus get a downloadable guide to the Jewish holidays with the dates for this coming year. Once you sign up for it, you'll get the holiday guide, you'll get links to all 31 videos in this series. Just in case, I'll have another link to that at the end of this video. But now we're going to talk about Yizkor. Yizkor is Hebrew for one will remember or he will remember. In our context, it's the beginning of a prayer that says, "May God remember the souls of the departed in my family." This is actually a small service within a service. The Yizkor service itself is usually done entirely standing, sometimes with the ark open or people holding Torah scrolls up in front of the congregation. It's a combination of prayers out loud by the leader, responsive prayers or prayers in unison, moments of silent prayer, and the recitation of Kaddish, as is often said by people who are in mourning. I said it's a service within a service. This mini Yizkor service is usually appended to or inserted into the Torah service on holidays 4 times a year. It's done on Yom Kippur, which is what we're talking about today. It's done on the last day of Sukkot, which we'll be talking about here in a couple of days after Yom Kippur. And it's also done on the last day of Passover and on Shavuot. You might recognize that as the Shalosh Regalim, or the 3 pilgrimage festivals, plus Yom Kippur. Once again in this service, we ask God to remember the souls of the departed, principally parents if you've lost one or more of your parents. You can also say prayers for a spouse or a child who's passed away. It can also be a time to say a prayer for the soul of a sibling or even a close friend. In some places, they include language about praying for the souls of those who were killed in the Shoah or the Holocaust or other tragedies throughout our history, or really include anyone who no longer has someone to pray for them. The thrust of the prayer is to hope that God remembers the soul of your departed loved one in a way that's bound up with the souls of our righteous ancestors. In other words, may this person be considered as righteous as Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah. And if they have a place in eternity, may our lost loved one have the same kind of place. It also contains language to pledge charity in honor of that person so that that person's soul leaves a legacy not only in our own memories, but also affecting positively the lives of others today through our act of charity in their honor. One important bit of choreography or a tradition you may or may not observe in the place where you're saying your prayers is a lot of shifting of seats during this time. In some communities, it's a tradition that you would only attend the Yizkor service if one or more of your parents has passed away. And so if both of your parents are still alive, you would leave the sanctuary to save that space for people who needed to say Yizkor on behalf of a parent. You can consider this an especially humane gesture in small places where not everybody can sit down at the same time, and you make room for those people who really need and want to be there. And you go outside and you be grateful that your parents are both alive, because you know someday you're going to be in there with the other people. However, I just want to be clear that this is a custom. This is not Jewish law that you have to leave the space. It's good to follow the customs of a place, but if you feel compelled to stay because maybe your parents are both alive, but you've lost somebody who's dear to you, and you feel like you need to be in that space to say that prayer, that's okay too. You know, if your place is really strict about it, you might want to talk to the rabbi just to make sure everything's cool, nobody's going to give you a hard time. I, for one, for years, have stayed for the Yizkor prayer. Not just because I was the rabbi leading the services, but because even though my parents are both still alive, several years ago I lost my brother in a car accident. And so when it comes time to say Yizkor, I say a Yizkor prayer for him. And usually when I've been leading services in the past, I let everybody know, if you need to be here, whatever the circumstances, you are invited to be here. And if tradition makes you feel like you need to leave, you can leave, but you don't have to. That's just how I've done things in synagogues I've been a part of. Your mileage may vary, your community may be different. Talk to your rabbi or other leaders in your synagogue and kind of figure that out and get comfortable with it before it happens so it doesn't get awkward for you. It often starts with recitation of some Psalms. Psalm 23, the Lord is my shepherd. popular one there. The Yizkor prayer is often silent. And then a couple of other prayers that you often hear are El Maleh Rachamim, which is a memorial prayer that is often used as kind of a funeral dirge, if you will, and the recitation of the Kaddish Tome, or the Mourner's Kaddish. And once this brief service is over, the people who just came in for Yizkor leave, the people who left for Yizkor come back in. Whether you want or need to participate in this part of the service or not, I wanted you to be aware of it because it's actually very important to a lot of people. Some people who don't come to synagogue any other time of the year come on Yom Kippur, but even if they don't come for any of the other part of the Yom Kippur service, they come for Yizkor because it's important to honor the memory of the person that they've lost. And if you've lost somebody that you want to honor, it's important that you have the opportunity to do that, but it's also important for you to look around the room and see how many people are in the boat that you're in. Specifically not to make you feel like, oh, I shouldn't be so sad, everybody else here is suffering, but to help you understand that in your suffering, you are not alone. People coming together to comfort mourners is one of those things that I think Judaism does best. And that's why I'm really grateful to learn this together today about Yizkor during the Yom Kippur service. And in addition to the Yom Kippur service, there's another opportunity to participate in Yizkor as a part of Sukkot. Hero, thank you so much for learning this with me today. It's always a delight to learn with you subjects that are fun, subjects that are serious, because it's all what makes for a complete Jewish experience. If you want to make sure you have a complete Jewish experience of the High Holy Days and the harvest festivals and everything in between, and you haven't already done it, go ahead and click on the link in the show notes, the very first link that you see, or click on that orange square over there to join the 31-day Fall Jewish Holiday Challenge. I'm grateful for the learning that we've done today. I'm excited to continue learning with you. And until next time, Hero, peace.